What's going on, people? This is Shakedown. This is episode 47, and this time it is a Father's Day special. Now, in the next few minutes or so, I'm going to be talking about my dad, my grandparents, and what it is to kind of be a dad. I know I'm not one, but I'll go into that as the show goes on. So, in the meantime, sit back, relax. Happy Father's Day to all the guys that are watching, and we're going to get right to it. Okay, so we're going to start with my dad. Now, before I start anything, let me just say that I love my dad. My dad is a hard-working, God-fearing man, and something he has done well to try and do things that he believed in. And even though he kind of sacrificed being a family man due to his work, and I do see him from time to time. He wasn't always there every single day, every step of the way of my life, but we always seen each other. We've always seen each other along with my brother. We always seen each other, and we've always talked and just seen what's going on and everything else. But I should say that my dad's an electrician. My dad has been an electrician practically over his life, and he was good at karate as well. And he was a black belt, I should say, as well. My dad was always he always talked about business, but I tried to get him talking about things about life, things about what he wants to do and everything. He had this dream of wanting to have a farm so he can, distribute stuff, get stuff coming in. He wanted to live that kind of lifestyle, even though he's a city boy. My dad is one of 9 children. One of 9 children. He is the 5th child of the 9, and yes, they all had their nicknames of being numbered, so like number 1 to 9. So yeah, my I should start from the beginning really. My grandparents, both sides, came from Jamaica. They settled up in Handsworth. It was a sought after place for black people at the time, but it's gone to be more multicultural. If you don't know Handsworth here in Birmingham, so my parents, my parents' families lived around the corner from each other, and then they hooked up, and 20 odd years later or so, here I am. So it's a mad thing. What else can I say about my dad? My dad, as I say, always worked hard. He tries to do his best to kind of be a family man. He keeps video clips of myself, my brother, my older brother, and other family members as well. He continues to do his best to work hard and everything else. As my relationship with my dad, do you know something? As a kid, I always looked up to him, but there was times where he wasn't there, and he knows that he wasn't there. And I don't really blame him for I blamed him for a long time, because there was times where I really did need him. There was times where I wanted to console my feelings in him growing up as a man. So for example, I went to the prom when I was in school. I didn't have the best time. I was actually goaded to go to the prom. I didn't really want to go, but it's one of those things that if you don't go, you'll regret it. So I went, and I had a terrible time. And the plan was he was going to pick me up from the school, take me home, and I was outside waiting as everybody went, and that was pretty much the last time I saw several people from school as they were going, and then I was out there waiting, and I ended up having to take the last bus home. And when I got off the stop, and there was about from the bus stop, it was about a 10-minute walk home. It just felt like it was half an hour at that time. It was cold, it was dark, and then by the time I came in, he called me to say, T, where you are, where you at? I said I was at home, and he said, oh, okay, as long as you're okay, that's fine. But there was times where I needed him, but I had to learn on my own how to develop a sense of being a man, even though my mom's had an input in my life. You know, I had to learn how to do things. So I had to learn how to shave off my beard. I had to learn how to be tactful. I learnt my way of thinking, of trying to be a man in this world, and I think I've done okay. Let's be real, I've done okay. But you know what? My one thing I do have the trait of my dad is that he works hard, and I know I can work hard. I've juggled jobs, so I've had 2 jobs. Technically, I'm still doing it now, but I had 3 at one point, and I used to do a couple of days here, a couple of days there, and a couple of days there, and I would do that for like months on end. So people will always say to me that, oh yeah, it's mad what you do, but I just say, like, you know, it's mad to me too, but you know what, I'm rolling with the punches. I have that passion in me since I was little, since I started working. I'm not afraid to get down and dirty. That's how my dad taught me. My dad taught me to, like, you know, get your hands in dirty, prepare to work to work hard, prepare to get up early in the morning, leaving late at night, prepare yourself to do all of that stuff. So I respect him for what he has achieved, what he's taught me as a man. Even though I'm learning things on my own, there's a lot of things I have to take by learning as a man. One of the recent things that he's done is that he spoke to me the other day, and he, because I went through I went through a breakup, a messy breakup, and he said to me, son, you are a good man. You know, you will find that person that will see everything that you are about. You know, and you have to keep going. You have to keep bettering yourself, and you have to be determined within yourself, and you know. And you gotta, like, guard that heart of yours. You gotta guard it. And I didn't know what he meant at the time when he said guard my heart, and I had to look all that other stuff up, but I realized what he meant. So it's good that, you know, I can still turn to him when it comes to certain things, and I can chat to him about things. So I'm proud to be his son. You know, I'm proud to know that, you know what, my dad has done a lot. He's gone through so much. He never lets negative thoughts enter his head. He never gets down about things. That's why he puts music in his car. He listens to reggae, gospel music mostly, and he always tries to tell me stay strong, no matter what. So that's what he's always done. He said to me, he always said to me, my brother, stay strong. And yeah, that's my dad in a nutshell, to be honest. So yeah, I love my dad. I love what he has taught me, and I love the fact that he has never given up on what he wanted to do, what he wants to achieve, and he's tried to do his best to be a family man. Yeah, You know, even though I haven't got the best 2.4 family relationship thing, and I was raised more or less by a single parent. It's important to know that my dad did do certain things in life to try and be there for me and my brothers, and I want to publicly thank him that even though that's more the case than maybe, it is what it is. Oh, there's one more thing. There's many people that know me and they know that I got this chain on. What you guys don't know is that my dad actually gave me this chain. He actually bought me this chain, he did so like many years ago. Quite a few years ago to be fair. And he got me this chain, and he promised me saying, "Theo, this is yours. This is me to you. Never take it off." And I said, "Yeah, I'm never taking it off." Well, I have to take it off when it comes to airport security and all that stuff, but yeah, he gave me this chain, so I do look at it and I have to think to myself that, you know, it's one of dad's gifts, you know, that he's given to me. So yeah, I appreciate you, Dad. Right then, so we move on to my grandfather on my mother's side, Clovis Blair. My granddad. It's just hard to believe that he's passed on 2 years ago now. My granddad was the strongest man I've ever seen for his age. He literally likes to take things by the scruff of the neck. He was a man's man. He had his kingdom up in Jamaica when I used to live with him and my grandmother, and his kingdom was the farm that he had, and he would be going there from about 5 o'clock in the morning, and he didn't return until about 7 o'clock at night, just in time for the news. He would always say, "Theo, Troy, turn it over to the television, turn it over to the news," and he'd be sitting down there with his big mug. He had an orange mug. He would have a biscuit in it, in the tea with the tea, and he would sit down, not in the settee. He would sit down literally on the floor, and he would have his arms like this, and he would be watching the TV until he was ready to sleep. Sometimes he would come in and watch the cricket when it came on, and there's very few times he would go out, very few times, and he had a lot of clothes. He had a lot of clothes, and my grandmother used to buy him clothes, and a lot of them would be in the wardrobe, and he wouldn't wear them. They would be like brand new, and he wouldn't worn them. Yeah, and my granddad was a big eater. My granddad had like a mountains full of plate. It was around about that size, and he would eat, so much. He would eat so much. I got inspiration from that because my grandmother would always say, like, "You eat like a farmer ass." Oh my god, yeah, yeah. He loved being out on the farm, and he grew grapefruit. He would grow mangoes. He would grow anything and everything that he would actually grow, because my granddad had a big piece of land. You know, he got chickens. He would have pigs. He used to cut the chickens off their heads and everything, and we used to pluck them and everything. One of the things I used to do was that I would clean the eggs, and I used to spend a few hours cleaning them. So he would bring a basket full, a couple baskets full, and he would ask us to clean it and then put it under the racks and then stack it all together so that we could actually um, have it and everything to sell. And yeah, my granddad, he didn't take us out when I was in Jamaica. He didn't take us out often, so when it came to family gatherings, we was practically the only children that was there, and we had to kind of entertain ourselves by talking to our grandparents. That's why I've got no fears of anybody's parents, no fear of anybody. That's why I can always talk to adults so comfortably and so easily, especially the elderly. I can always relate to them. Um, but yeah, my granddad, he could discipline us, and even if we didn't do anything, he would be there to punish us. I can remember the belt that he had. Oh god, the green belt, the thick belt, that thick. And he would have it hand up on the kitchen, no, not the kitchen, the bathroom door, and it would be right there to whip us with. And he had a wicked, wicked, wicked hit. And my granddad, when he punished us, you know. Um, and he doesn't do it. He doesn't do it for his enjoyment. He does it because he cares. He just wants us to stay in the straight and narrow, as it were. Um, but yeah, he he didn't like me to. He didn't really like me touching his stuff or anything. He hated when I actually watched the TV and everything. Um, but I do go outside and try to do some things. I used to clean up the yard and everything. I used to, as I say, when I went to Jamaica, I used to wash my uniform. We had the khaki uniform. I used to wash it off by hand. Um, and yeah, we done what we had to do. Going out there to live, out there to see what it's like, see what my culture is about, what my heritage is about, and I've learned all of that by learning about my granddad. He loved his car. His car was a blue Ford Laser, a Sierra Laser actually, and he had it shipped from here in the country to go to Jamaica, and it's the only car that he ever drove. He had his tape recorder and he would listen to kind of the old time radios. I can't remember what the kind of artists that you listen to, but he listened to them. Um, and then time you could hear my granddad coming, you can hear him coming, going. When you hear him breathing, you can tell you can tell when it was coming. My granddad loved a good joke. He would laugh his head off, and you could hear it from he could hear it from a way away. Let me tell you. um, but yeah, my granddad's a cool person. Something. And this is the thing. What I want to try and learn from him was that he was a family man. He was a family man. But he liked keeping himself to himself. But he liked, dealing with what he was dealing with, and he would like my dad. He worked hard. He worked super super hard, and yeah, he often we often talked about things that happened here in England. Obviously, when he went to Jamaica back in the 60s, I think, he never stepped foot back on these shores again. And we always talked about what's gone on and everything. He would know the roads. He would know where things are and everything else. He would know all that stuff. It's just that a lot's changed, and he wouldn't come back because either people have passed on or moved on. So that's the reason why he doesn't necessarily come back at all to do anything. But he worked in his on his farm. He loved doing that. But yeah, my granddad was a cool man. He was. I love my granddad, and I do miss him. I miss him a lot. I have a keychain that's got my grandmother and my granddad on them as well, and I always kind of look at them and then kind of remind myself about why I'm doing this, why I am trying to live the best life that I can, and yeah, one of the things I want to do is that if I'm ever going to get my first house, I would like to have a plaque on the wall to say that this is dedicated to my grandparents, because they wanted so much for me to do well in life, and I wanted to like kind of put a plaque out there to say this house is dedicated to my grandparents, and it would have things going around in there, just to say, yeah, that's for them. It's not just for me, but it was for them, you know, to say to them, look, I did it thanks to them, taking myself on, my brother, my cousins on, looking after us, being there for us. So yeah, that's really what I want to say about my grandfather, Clovis Blair. We move on to my next grandparent. So I just wanted to say thank you for staying with me for this long, watching this Father's Day special right here on Shakedown. It was kind of important that I wanted to be honest and frank about my granddads and my dad, and you know, as a man, it's so important that I'm learning so much from them, to one day hopefully be a dad myself, and I want to be able to. They can't be taught in the same way that I've done it, or that I've done, but it's more important to just kind of show them, you know, that hard work, being an important member of the family. You know, try to develop as much as you can do to give them the tools and the wisdom so that they can learn, so that they can make their own decisions and what they want to do and what they want to achieve. I'm not going to be one of those dads that's just, you know, one of those buster dads, one of those there that, you know, that's deadbeat and everything else. I want to be the best dad that I can be one day. I want to share the world with them, you know. I want them to enjoy themselves, to tell them that the world is theirs, so when I'm gone, they can take over, they can learn, they can do something that's a lot better than in this generation. So yeah, I want to say also, I want to thank my dad and my granddads for instilling those traits within me. I want to thank them for, you know, for my life, for just being there, whether it's to advise me on something, whether it's just to kind of, you know, put a smile on my face. I do appreciate what they have done, you know, and you can't choose family members, but, you know, you got people out there that do generally care, and they do things to get you into this place, to get you into a sort of mindset about life and everything. So really appreciate what they've done. Anyways, I'm not going to keep you too long, people. I got another episode out soon. I'm working out all the kinks on that. But in the meantime, stay fresh, stay cool. My name's Theo. This has been episode 47, Father's Day special. Have a great Father's Day if you're a dad and that's watching right now. I'm sure you'll get spoiled. I'm sure you have a good time. So thank you guys for watching. I'm out. Peace out. I just wanted to say thank you for staying with me for this long, watching this Father's Day special right here on Shakedown. It was kind of important that I wanted to be honest and frank about my granddads and my dad. And you know, as a man, it's so important that I'm learning so much from them. Um, to one day hopefully be a dad myself, and I want to be able to. They can't be taught in the same way that I've done it, or that I've done. But excuse me, but it's more important to to just kind of show them, you know, the that hard work and being an important member of the family. Um, you know, try to develop as much as you can do to give them the tools and the wisdom so that they can learn, so that they can make their own decisions and what they want to do and what they want to achieve. I'm not going to be one of those dads that's just, you know, one of those buster dads, one of those there that, you know, that's deadbeat and everything else. I want to be the best dad that I can be one day. I want to share the world with them. You know, I want them to enjoy themselves, to tell them that the world is theirs. So when I'm gone, they can take over. They can learn. They can do something that's a lot better than in this generation. So yeah, I want to say also, I want to thank my dad and my granddads for instilling those traits within me. I want to thank them for, you know, for my life, for just being there, whether it's to advise me on something, whether it's just to kind of, you know, put a smile on my face. I do appreciate what they have done, you know, and you can't choose family members, but, you know, you got people out there that do generally care, and they do things to get you into this place, to get you into a sort of mindset about life and everything. So really appreciate what they've done. Anyways, I'm not going to keep you too long, people. I got another episode out soon. I'm working out all the kinks on that. But in the meantime, stay fresh, stay cool. My name's Theo. This has been episode 47, Father's Day special. Have a great Father's Day if you're a dad and that's watching right now. I'm sure you'll get spoiled, and I'm sure you'll have a good time. So thank you guys for watching. I'm out. Peace out.